I'm Danny.
And I'm Althea.
And we are
DNA Life, baby.
I like that.
I know. So anyway, I wanted to start off by, of course, thanking our sponsors. Put that up real quick. We got YNVS. We got Natural Born Hype Magazine, Maverick Global Distribution, Slapwoods, and Villan. Thank you very much to all of you. Hope everybody is enjoying their happy holiday season.
Congratulations to Natural Born for winning the Long Island Award.
Yes.
Shout out to DC.
Yeah, that was really nice to hear about that. Also, we're going to give a big shout out to Worldorama.
Shout out to World.
He's wearing the shirt. There you go. Grind Hard Podcast. We also want to give a big shout out to Lazarus, the Top Don, and also to Flip, Mr. Flip, Raw Talk. You know him on Bars and Hoops Radio. We enjoyed. You guys really kicked it off. What was it, on Friday?
No, it was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Oh my God.
It was Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay, sorry.
5 to 6.
Sorry. 5 to 6 Saturdays. We had such a nice time. And Worldorama and Laz really, I mean, they're on their game. I mean, they really are on their game.
Yeah, I can't say none.
No,
they killed it.
And you killed it too. You jumped in there. Okay, so anyway.
Compared to that, yeah.
So anyway, also just to keep in mind, this is actually going to be our last show of the season. Okay. That was good, right? I tried to trick them.
You scared me. You know what I'm saying? She scared me. I was about to say nothing. I'm like, well, I guess, sometimes good things got to come to an end, right?
No, but no, not today. This is our last show of the season. And we're going to be looking forward to 2025 is going to have a lot of surprises for everybody. But we were, I was just thinking about, how we first started and everything. And, you found the clip for me. So I just wanted to play a little bit of our first show. You'll see.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? My name is Danny.
Althea.
And we are the DNA Show.
Yes, we are.
We got a special guest today, Cake Life man, entrepreneur, dope rapper, man, and we want to actually sit down to a couple of segments and for the young guys that's trying to understand the music industry and trying to get into the industry, we did this to have a strong platform for independent artists. Doesn't matter even in entertainment, it's right. All walks of basically artistry. So I'm here, my wife right here. Everyone's like, yo, why'd you bring on your wife? Man, let me tell all y'all listening here. When you care for some woman, man, no, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
No, but basically, the show will head around not just musicians. We'll be talking to several artists, authors, comedians,
film directors,
everybody. We're going to try to show the same love and support that we were shown, and we're basically going to showcase them in Long Island because we love Long Island, and we love Danny too. But
who doesn't love me? That's all I got to say. Everyone's like, oh man, look at this cocky mother. No, I'm playing. But listen, anyway, like I was telling her, is basically I wanted to give a platform for artists to come out because a lot of times people don't really show independent artists a lot of love and everybody's in competition a lot out here. And I'm like, you know what, man, it's time to break that barrier and really put everybody together inside the community. Young, talented artists as well as, middle-aged kind of artists, no matter what. We're still artists inside this community, man, and we got to keep it going.
That's right.
But anyway, let me talk to you about yesterday's performance. Don't be looking at me like that, woman.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
See how I was skinny? I had a full thing of hair. Let's see. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's what a show does. You see, people, that's what bringing a whole community does to you. It makes you grow old.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you,
And you had your hair straightened. You were trying to look all good in front of. What happened with that?
You know
Where did that go?
Oh, you know what? I thought you liked my hair this way.
Yeah, it's cool, but that way that you look right there was just absolutely stunning.
Oh, okay. So if anything, maybe I'll think about going to the hair
I want to
salon.
just do one real quick before you're done.
Go ahead.
So, you got the charts? You want to put up the charts real quick?
Okay, put up the charts.
So these are the charts right now for the week with the media base, because we always put up the media base charts. Put up the DOT, please. And
yes.
digital radio tracker right here as well, because a lot of people always ask me about it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, write that in there. What DNA does, because we have our own iHeart channel as well on the iHeart app. So and we're live right now on it. So
yes, we
DNA
are.
What?
Well, we're simultaneously on iHeart right now. So if you even were on our app right now, you would be hearing the show live there as well.
And you can stream us live on our app as well, too.
Mm-hmm. And our app is DNA Digital, right? Media. You can find that on the Play Store. Just go download that. And you can also find us on iHeart with D_8.
And definitely download another thing that we have is Power 104.9 Long Island that we're live in all the time in this show as well.
24/7, baby.
It's a radio station that we own. We own 2 radio stations, ladies and gentlemen. But after that, I just want to tell everybody too, man, we're going to get really, I want to give a big shout out to M City Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a great job in the review. Everybody loved the review. And
oh my God, yeah.
Just know we're going to be doing the review probably like once a month.
Once a month, we're going to do a review. Month.
And we're going to be bringing up the top A&Rs,
mm-hmm.
the top hip hop, like platinum rappers, because we want to give everybody, insight on the industry.
Yes, we do. And that's what we're going to do. So with that said, you got anything else?
Nope.
Okay. So with that said, coming up, we have a soulful rock artist. Her name is Britney Bexton. And you'll learn more about her in maybe 2 seconds. Okay, maybe 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So wait for the commercial break. And right here on this show, we're going to have Brittany. So stay tuned.
Eres bella, tus ojitos me iluminan, aunque no quiera, me tiene loco en la cabeza. Guardo tus fotos, no las he borrado, y tus besitos no los he olvidado. Eres bella, I think about you all the time, but it's been 2 years now since I last saw you, y no sales de mí.
Over 20 million fans have made Trans-Siberian Orchestra their holiday tradition. Bring the whole family and make it part of yours. The Lost Christmas Eve, returning to the stage for the first time in over 10 years. Coming to a city near you. Go to tsotickets.com for show dates and tickets. Don't miss the all-new show. Soaring guitars, dazzling lasers, and enough pyro to keep you warm all season. Coming to a city near you. Go to tsotickets.com for show dates and tickets. The Lost Christmas Eve, live in concert.
I love those guys.
I know, but it's sad. Isn't that the last time we're
I
going to play
know.
it?
This is the last weekend for Trans-Siberian, man. If you didn't see the show, you're going to have to wait until next year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or unless they got a DVD out or something like that or whatever. You can see them on YouTube. But coming up, we have the beautiful, talented Britney Bexton. Welcome her to the show. Hello.
Hello.
My God, I love her already. We were just talking. I love her, I really do. She's so cool. And she's got 2 cute dogs. Okay, so hi to Winston and Buddy. I know they're with you. And they're going to keep quiet. Well, they may interject. I don't know. but it'll be fun.
That's
You're gonna start barking and screaming. I dare.
You didn't get a chance to see them. I did.
Oh.
Okay. But anyway, we got Brittany here. Now as I did my research, unlike you, she was born and raised in Northern California. So let's take it from there, because you grew up you grew up with the music of Aretha Franklin, Motown, rock and roll in your childhood. You were in choirs, music classes, private voice tutoring. Go. There we go.
Yeah. So cool thing, since y'all are in New York, I actually got to sing in Carnegie Hall when I was 15.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh
My jazz choir was part of the Phil Mattson Vocal Jazz Workshop, and it was an invitational only jazz concert. And it was a festival, and we got to sing at Carnegie Hall at the end. So that was one of my awesome experiences. So my vocal history is kind of all over the place. I mean, I've done classical, I've done musical theater, I've done jazz. My first teacher was a pop teacher, but I really, like you said, grew up on Motown and Aretha Franklin and good old rock and roll, and like loved the rock and singer-songwriter stuff of the 90s. So that's really my background.
Wow. But you just blew me away with Carnegie Hall. Let me tell you. I mean, everybody wants that chance. It's like, people want to go to the Apollo Theater. They want to be on that stage. You know what I'm saying? Carnegie Hall is the same platform. And my mom performed in Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
My mom was an opera singer, but she was in a choir, and she was one of the lead sopranos, and she got to perform in Carnegie Hall. That was her only time ever, in the spot. She never pursued it because she had 2 kids. So, that's, that at that time, that's what it was. But at Carnegie, if you made it to Carnegie Hall, God bless you.
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing experience for sure.
Oh my God. It just, oh my God, I'm just enthralled with that. Just the fact that, I mean, people have that certain aspiration of certain things that, I want to make it to Radio City, or I want to make it, I want to have a concert in Madison Square Garden. People have that little thing that they want to complete on their bucket list. And let me tell you, going to, that is just beautiful. Don't you think that? Well, you're not going to go to Carnegie Hall. So you're not going there. But okay, so then you moved down to Nashville. So what inspired that move?
Oh, so I actually went to a theater conservatory for college, but we sang, danced, and acted all day. And I did professional theater when I got out of that. But I just wasn't feeling super fulfilled. I really wanted to be doing my own music, because I've been writing my own music since I was a little girl. And I always knew I wanted to be a singer-songwriter. But I just wasn't fulfilled doing musical theater and theater anymore. And I decided I was going to take a step back from that and pursue my music full-time, along with film and TV work.
Okay.
Because I had a little more flexibility with that than I did with stage shows. So I took a step back and started playing with bands in my hometown, because I had moved home to save money. I was going to move to New York and do the Broadway thing. And then I was like, this is not what I want to do long term. I want to be able to do my own music. So I started playing with bands in my hometown, and I knew that I was supposed to move. I knew that I couldn't really do what I needed to with music where I was, but I just didn't know where to go. I really didn't know much of anything about Nashville at the time, funny enough. I mean, you'd think I did country music and stuff at the time, and why wouldn't I know about Nashville? But I just, and California is like a whole different world. The industry in California, about the industry in New York. I had heard some stuff about Austin, but I knew nothing about Nashville.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, Lord, where do you want me to go? And I had looked at actually moving to Austin, Texas, because I'd heard that was a big music town.
Mm.
And I was going out to network at the local club. We had this place called Kodiak Jack's, and I would go out there to network with artists that were coming through. And one night, an artist came through that was in from Nashville. And after the show, I was so green at the time. I did not know how to properly network, but I like went up to him. I told him he did a great show, and I handed him a card, and I was like, you know, I'm a singer if you ever need a backup vocalist or anything. And I handed him a card. I was not great at the hang yet. What can I say? But he had grace for me, and he was like, you are. And we ended up sitting down and talking for a little over an hour.
Oh, wow.
And talking about music. And he's like, why are you here? You can do what you need to here. And I was like, I know. And I know I need to move. He goes, well, why aren't you in LA? And I'm like, I can't do LA. LA is just too claustrophobic for me. I get claustrophobic there after like 3 days. And he goes, okay, I get that. But why aren't you in Nashville? That's really where the industry is anyway. And there's more space and it's more country. And you should just go to Nashville. He's like, heck, move tomorrow if you have to. And I went, okay, I'll look into Nashville. So I'd been praying about it, and I'd been asking God, like, okay, where do you want me to go and when? So I go home, I start looking into Nashville, and I'm like, well, I've been asking you, Lord. So then the next day, I was actually doing the Colgate Country Showdown, and the guitar player that was playing with me for that looks at me, doesn't know about the conversation the night before, and he says, why aren't you in Nashville?
Oh, Jesus.
You should really be in Nashville. I mean, that's what you do. That's where you should be. And then the third day,
Universe.
I ended up on the phone with my ex, and he was like, why are you visiting Texas? You should be going to Nashville.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay, Lord, I get it. You want me in Nashville. I get it. So I started planning. I decided in 3 days that I was going to move, and I started planning for the trip, and I put together a website, and I honestly hadn't really been on social media because I was not into social media at the time, but I realized and recognized that I needed to do it for music. So I got on social media stuff. I recorded a demo that I shouldn't have recorded until I moved here, but you know, you live and you learn.
Yeah, that's true.
And 3 months later, I packed my car as full as I could get it, and I drove across the country.
Oh, wow. I know. I don't have the tenacity to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a scared little rabbit.
Oh, I'm the type to just leave.
He'll go anywhere. He don't care. He'll just take a little duffel bag and he's on his way. Me, it's
we
like
gotta work. You know what I
but-
mean? That's how I look at it. I look at it as like no one's gonna give it to you. You gotta get it yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I feel that a lot of artists fail because they're waiting for somebody to take them. And it's like that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to grab hold of it yourself for sure.
I try to grab, but I'm like more of a pincher, you know. I don't, you know.
Pinch here, pinch there.
She like snips. She goes like this and does like a little snip. And then I look at her and I just take the whole thing with my hands like this and I just grab it. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, listen, man, that's how you gotta be.
I'm just a little bit more of the
You're reserved. I'm not reserved.
me reserved.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, you don't. I am
not reserved.
Yeah.
I am not reserved. Don't listen to him. He doesn't
Certain
know.
things. No, you know what? She just does things like she won't go like she'll go fully, but then she won't. Me, I'm just the crazy one that just goes, all right, we're out of here.
Yeah.
Clearly,
Let's go. And I'm like, no, I'm not
It
going.
is what it is. I mean, even if it ends up a dead end road, you still tried.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're driving a car, and when you're driving a car, still trying to get the right directions, don't know where you're going. You might end up somewhere that's going to lead you right to the right direction.
If I don't have the
That's
right
how I got it.
GPS, dude, I'm not getting in the car.
Well,
you know, I wrote a song about that.
You did?
I did. I wrote a song called Just Crazy Enough.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Probably about me then.
no, it's about me.
About me.
You're not crazy.
No, it's about me.
It was right after I moved to Nashville. I we actually had a writer's night scheduled, and my guitar player backed out the last minute, like literally the morning of the writer's night. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? Do I have to haul a keyboard? Like, how am I going to fill this in? And I went to the bank and I ran into someone I vaguely knew, like it was the boyfriend of a friend. And I'm like, hey, you play guitar, don't you? And he goes, I do. And I'm like, do you want to play with me tonight?
Oh, wow.
And he was like, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, let's do it. So that afternoon, I actually went to the boot store where he worked, and we practiced in the back, and he played the show with me that night.
Oh, that is so cool. See, those
Yeah, but that's what usually happens.
Yeah.
Usually, people
those spontaneous moments. You know,
one door
sometimes-
closes, another door opens.
Yeah. Well, and when I walked out of the bank, I thought, this is crazy. I've never even played with him. I don't even know if he's good. And I walked out and I thought, man, you have to be just crazy enough to be in the music industry. And then I was like, ooh, that's a good song title.
Yeah. It's crazy.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, come on. Half of the time, everybody's freaking going there. Like, what I don't like, one thing I don't like about the music industry is that it lacks commitment. The people that you think is going to be the most committed are the ones that back out, and then all of a sudden you just have a spontaneous moment. It's like, yo, bro, I own a guitar. And you're like, what?
What? Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Then all of a sudden that becomes your band member.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
I found plenty of rappers like that. Like there was one cat was like, yo, meet me in the station. All right, I'm gonna come. Get the text 5 minutes. It goes, oh, I can't make it. And then all of a sudden you see a kid from the corner right there literally rapping. All right, bro, come in.
And he's actually better than the guy that
And
was
he's
supposed
better
to
than
come.
the guy that's supposed to come in. You're like, he's like, yeah, man, I worked with Dr. Dre back in the day.
Yeah.
And I did it. You're like,
Divine intervention.
you're like, what
Yes.
are you doing down the street corner? And he's like, oh man, I just chilled there, bro.
Yeah.
I just practiced my skills. You're like, yo,
Yeah.
that's why I tell everybody, you never know who you bump into.
No,
It's true.
it's never. Every instant has its reason.
Well, God gives you pieces, right? And you got to
Yep.
put the pieces together. And the way you put the pieces together is not knowing how to put the piece together. It just happens that way.
Yes.
Speaking of God.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for this? That was a good segue too. Speaking of God, in February, this one over here, she's an author too. So she wrote a book called Learning to Believe Again, 30 Days to Finding Hope, Faith, and Comfort in God's Truth.
Why is that? I'm very like that's a dope title.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What made you come up with that?
So I wrote the song Believe Again before I wrote the book.
Mhm.
And it came out of me healing from PTSD. After I moved to Nashville, I went through some pretty crazy things. I moved, and the first roommate I had to get a restraining order against in the first 3 months that I was in town because he threatened to kill me.
Oh,
I can laugh now. Not really funny, but
yeah, I know what you're saying.
but God protected me.
Right.
And it was like a series of crazy things. That was just really the first crazy thing. And then I went through like a series of crazy, insane personal betrayals and work betrayals. And it was like just kind of one trauma after another. And it compounded into PTSD, which I realized after I'd been touring basically for 4 years full time. I realized I had PTSD because I was having like disproportionate emotional responses to things. And no one on the outside would know, but on the inside, it felt like I'd been run over by a train. And I realized I needed to sort of take a step back and really put some roots down in Nashville because I'd been on the road pretty much full time since I'd moved to town. And I didn't have roots. And I started going to counseling for trauma therapy. And in that process, I'd always believed in God. I never stopped believing in him. It kind of would have been like stopping believing in a best friend that you'd known since childhood. I couldn't not believe in him, but my trust for him had been really shattered because of everything I went through. So I started in the process of going through counseling, trauma therapy specifically. I also went through a process of rebuilding my faith. Right. And one day I saw someone who they had the peace of God and they had that light. And I was like, I used to have that and I want that back.
Right.
And I started fighting to get it back. And that really meant like diving into the word of God every day and really seeking him. And my prayer during that time was, God, I believe, help me overcome my unbelief, which is from a story in Mark where a father, his son had been dealing with demons his whole life and no one could heal him. And even the disciples couldn't free him, but Jesus came and said, do you believe?
Yep.
Because anything is possible for those who believe. And he said, yes, I believe. Help me overcome my unbelief. And that's all we need is the choice to believe because God fills in the rest. And he did. He rebuilt my faith. But it was a process, because when you've gone through a lot and you are unraveling trauma and healing, it's a process. And I learned a lot along the way. So the song came first, actually. It's called Believe Again. And I was co-writing with someone I had never co-written with before that day. And I got triggered. I had a trauma trigger. So I felt like I'd been run over by a train. And I was on my way to the co-write, and I was just like, oh God, what am I going to write tonight? I feel terrible. Like, I have no idea what we're going to write. And I just heard him say, you're going to write Learning to Believe Again, because that's what you're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. And that's what we wrote.
Learning to Believe Again.
And then when the book came about, people had been telling me I needed to write a book for years, like basically since I moved to town and had all of these crazy experiences. But I was like, I think I'd like to have a little more victory before I write my story. But during this healing process, I was getting all of this revelation from God, like healing revelation. And I would share these words that I was receiving in my email list. Mm-hmm. And I was doing like a monthly email blast, and I was sharing a word of the month, and people started responding to these emails and being like, this word just changed my life. I've been stuck in this area and I couldn't figure out what to do. And I read your email and I'm finally unstuck. And it was just crazy. Like, I was getting these amazing responses, and I just knew at that point, I was like, I don't need to write the story of the victory. I need to write the healing process, because that's what I'm doing, and that's what I've learned, and that's what people need. So that's what the book came out of. And it came out in February of 2020, actually. And then the whole world shut down. So
oh my God. Yeah, right. Perfect timing.
At the end of the day, God spoke to you. Doesn't matter if the end of the world happened. You know what I mean? So my thing with you, though, is watching you and talking about God, you see a different glow. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And what I'm taking a look at, too, is as an artist and as a DJ, too, I go through those dramas.
Yeah.
Because you're around 100 different type of people with different type of, situations as well. And they have different actions and the way that they really try to move, and everybody thinks it's like, oh yeah, I'm up on stage, it's great, everything's done, but they don't understand the process that you have to go through to actually get to the stage, make the stage, do the performance, make the record, publish the record, and push it. They don't understand how much trauma that gives, and money, and your time.
Yeah.
So that makes you basically, a lot of times, man, I believe every artist has that. Yeah. Because I know dang well I have that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You wake up times and somebody triggers you off, and when they trigger you off, you can't even think about it. You can't even write.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. How are you gonna sit here and write a record, right? When you're already triggered off, you're not feeling good, your body ain't feeling good, your aura's off. Yeah. So everything is just gonna be off.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I definitely understand what you go through when it comes to that, because a lot of weird characters in this industry, honey. That's all I gotta say.
I would agree with that 100%. You kind of never know what you're gonna get.
I just never thought that Nashville would have the same kind of characters that New York and LA would have. I kind of seem like Nashville would be a little bit
laid back.
Yeah.
Mm. In some ways it is. When I moved here, I'd had experiences in LA too, because I'd done some film and TV work.
Oh God.
And
oh no. I'm sorry for saying that. It's just I understand, like, being a female in this industry is terrible.
Yeah.
Because you got so many creeps. When you try to be a pro and really try to move, you don't know their attention. You don't know what they want. When you're just trying to do your business and run yourself as a brand, you got a bunch of weirdos, crazy people. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's my podcast. I don't care. You got a bunch of weirdos, a bunch of freaks, and people that basically, I'm not gonna even say it because I'm gonna get in trouble. But anyway, you got a bunch of people that go to the exclusive parties and wild out. That's it. I'm not gonna get into that term, but it's very hard to be a female in this industry. And that's all I want to say. And I definitely understand because you just brought up movies and me being in the movie, knowing the movie industry and just being around all of these, a lot of these film people, it shakes your head. I'm talking about editors and I'm talking about directors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So LA is very exclusive. Like if you're not in the in crowd, you're not in the in crowd.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you have to know the right person to get introduced and all of that. And I think New York's probably pretty similar in that way.
I think it is too.
New York has a little bit more of an independent ground.
Okay.
LA has more of a kind of like, I call it the union ground. Is that you have to be brought in there and really put in there.
Yeah.
But New York has most of the time, most of the independent crowd basically rules over New York.
Okay. So Nashville, it is the industry. Like the music industry it is the town, really. I mean, you have the PROs here, you have the labels here, you have most of the main songwriters here. I mean, a lot of people travel here to write even. So it's all here. And it's different than LA in the sense that you don't have to be in the in crowd to talk to people.
Okay.
People are very willing to talk to you and even give you wisdom, talk about their experiences. So when I first moved to town, I mean, I met a ton of hit songwriters that were so willing to talk to me and meet with me. And I met guys that had been touring with big artists for years, and they were willing to sit with me and talk to me and meet with me. And I even met label folks and stuff, but they were willing to talk and share their wisdom, but that doesn't mean that you're in.
Yeah.
So it is more laid back in a sense because you can at least have a conversation with them. It's more friendly in that way, but there's still kind of like the tricks to get in, and there's still the same industry stuff that happens with that. So yeah.
This is
so
why
you're saying, so basically what you're saying is, can you just put like a definition of basically in, because people don't understand, like some people are probably not understanding when we're saying in. So you're saying basically sign, or you're saying basically with a label, like, same thing. You sign, basically that's what the in crowd basically is.
So like signed to a label, signed to a publishing company, like in the crowd that is being pushed to radio all the time, that is big bucks are being poured into, like the family names, that crowd. And I mean, honestly, people can get in just because of who they know, but it's a pretty mean industry. I'm not saying Nashville. I just mean the industry in general.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking to somebody that's been in there for 20 something years.
It's eat dog world.
Yes.
I've seen people become rich, lose it. People not rich still have it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
and
on the draw.
I've seen people sell themselves to the industry and just completely lose themselves and then lose what they gained in the industry,
I see that all
people,
the time on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of females losing themselves, losing their souls to this industry.
Well, they believe that, sex sells, and that's what they always tell them, and they don't realize the best thing that sells in music, I always say, is who you are.
Yeah.
There's nobody
that's right.
who you are. But listen, I want to get into some music.
Oh, okay, let's get into the music. Okay, but you know what? Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Okay, because she's like you. Ready for this? Okay, because he is a New York State advocate, and he was anti-bullying.
Oh, okay.
So did you know she is a very big activist with domestic violence? This one over here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she does a lot of work with organizations and everything for awareness of domestic violence. This woman does it all.
Did you get into it because of the incidents that you had being there?
Yes, in part that. And then also because people that I cared about were going through abuse.
Right.
Okay.
So it was one thing to go through it and get out myself. And I learned about the cycle of abuse and all of that because of that. And when I went through that crazy thing with the roommate going psycho on me, I studied like narcissism, sociopathy, and psychopathy, because I was like, what just happened, you know? So I learned a lot about personality disorders and abuse and like Stockholm syndrome through that. And then I watched other people go through it, and I couldn't stand just seeing people go through it. I wanted to help. So that's how I got into it.
This is my segue. You see, I know how to do segues here, because the music video I'm going to play is called Dance with the Devil.
I was just reading that because that's what I was going to ask you. We'll Dance with the Devil, but we're going to get on that in a short period of time after the song is done. So you already know it's your boy, DJ Energetic, and roll Dance with Your Devil with
Dance with the Devil. Bexton.
You've been pulled through hell long enough. When someone chooses to hurt you, it isn't love. You say you have a duty to save what's dead, but some broken things aren't meant to mend. You think if you spin around again, you'll make the devil dizzy and stop the sin. But the more you try, the less you feel your worth. You can't move through fire and not get burned. There's no way to win this game. You lose it all or you grasp the flame. Either way, it's gonna hurt. 'Cause you can't dance with the devil and not get burned. Dance with the devil and not get burned. You believe you know the dance you're in, but step by step you're dragged again. 'Cause evil tangles when you try to waltz, then lashes out when you trip and fall. There's no way to win this game. You lose it all or you grasp a flame. Either way, it's gonna hurt. 'Cause you can't dance with the devil and not get burned. Dance with the devil and not get burned. You can't change someone who denies the truth. You feel the heat, but you try to play it cool. What on earth do you think that you're trying to prove? You are strong, but you're not fireproof. There's no way to win this game. You lose it all or you grasp a flame. Either way, it's gonna hurt. 'Cause you can't dance with the devil and not get burned. Dance with the devil and not get burned. Dance with the devil and not get burned.
Love that one. I love that. You know when she does that, man. Oh my God, she. Dance with the devil. I'm sorry.
Is that the one that's right now being charted?
It is, yes.
Of course,
So-
man. I love
Okay,
it.
so that record is phenomenal.
I love
okay,
that
the
record.
only person that I can actually, and me and her agreed on.
We
this
agreed.
guy
We
that-
said the same. You know, we do our little notes when we're interviewing people, like who we think they kind of emulate a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I said the minute I heard the man, I was like Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, I can't. You know, I was trying to figure out who you sound like, and I looked at her and I said only one person, and she said there, and I was like, that's the only one that comes to mind.
Man, yeah. You know, I mean, she's got the undertone. She's got everything. She's got, yeah.
No, the sound, you know what I mean?
The sound, just yeah.
The sound just sounds.
You
just
got
like
her.
that.
She's got her own.
But no, you got your own on there, and it's number 47, right?
Or 48.
Yeah, it was either 47 or 48 when the charts closed. I don't know. I just know the top place that it's been so far on the charts was 47.
So it peaked on 47.
Mhm.
Right.
Face, baby.
Big shout out to you, man, and definitely everybody listening right now. Check that record out. That record is phenomenal.
I love it.
Big
Sorry
shout-
about the barking.
No, you gotta give a big shout out to Howie and listening.
Oh, okay. Of course. A big shout out to Howie and Debbie out there in California.
Yeah.
They are my.
They be
are,
finding so good talent, man.
it's
So
not about
this is
finding. They have
having.
them.
That's what I'm saying.
They have the talent. They're just bringing it us to, bringing it us here in New York. And I'm loving I'm feeling the heat from California.
So my thing is, right? You as an advocate, did you write that for advocacy too?
I did.
That's what it sounds more like to me. Not saying it's not his single. What I'm saying is it sounds basically like you've been through it. So when you're doing the music, it's so potent because if it just struck like a knife, because it felt like that you were basically in this rock with the devil.
She sings it.
No, but what I'm saying
It's
is
been so good until now. Buddy, come here.
Come on, buddy.
It's
Here
all
we
good.
go.
Sorry. I'm going to give them an extra treat. We'll see
Give
if
them an
it
extra
quiets
treat.
them.
That's okay. If
It's
I had
all
treats,
good.
I'd give one to Danny right now.
she's right though. Well, listen, no,
But
go ahead.
yes, to answer your question, that I didn't write it with advocacy in mind exactly, but yes, I wrote it to help people get out and basically to say all the things I wanted to say. Because when I wrote it, I was watching someone I was really close to go through abuse.
Oh.
And, it's easy to help people that you're not super close to.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's harder to help the people that you're closest to because they think you're biased or whatever. And they just can't hear the truth from you. So it was like,
They'll believe a stranger though.
yes.
They
Isn't that
always-
interesting?
It always.
I don't understand it neither because we be saying things and they be like, oh, okay, cool. All of a sudden you walk down the block, the guy's saying the same exact thing, and they listen.
Yeah.
So
Right.
being a fellow advocate, I know how that goes.
Yeah.
When you're sitting there and we're talking in front of everybody, and they go, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
They don't do it.
They don't do it, and then all of a sudden the incident happens, and they come back, and then it's just like, why are we talking about this again? We already went over it. You know what I mean? No, just to anybody, but I just want to really break down that record real quick. What I really liked.
Oh, here we go.
What I liked was I know you weren't trying to do the advocacy, but to me, as an advocate and as a musician, I could feel it. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I liked about it. Well, I like the title. What made you decide to come up with that title?
So when I had the idea for the song, like I said, it was like all the things I wanted to say to my friend, but couldn't say, but would say to other people. And I just started hearing the hook, "You can't dance with the devil and not get burned." And I heard it with the melody in my head before we wrote the song, because I ended up taking the idea into a co-write with my friend Lori Lovelace, and we hashed it out together. And she has had experience with domestic abuse, and she is a counselor too, so she's dealt with it that way. So it was great because we could, really go after the topic together. But the hook was, "You can't dance with the devil and not get burned," but that's just too long of a title.
Yeah. Dance with the devil. That's good.
And
enough.
Dance with the Devil just had a ring to it, and I knew it would have the intrigue factor and get people to listen.
Yeah.
No, what I loved about it was
He liked it too. Go ahead.
Nah, I really did like it. I just love the whole title. I love the whole way that it was put together, the theme. I like when the guy was dancing with you, because you're calling it basically you're just tangling around with the guy that's the devil right now.
Yeah.
And right that in there, you just keep going and doing the same old moves. So that's how I got it from that analogy. Another cool thing that I got actually from that video was more kind of how you broke free.
Mm-hmm.
So the sensibility of you breaking free from it. We can
Yes.
dance for a little bit, but when the music is done, I want you away from me.
Yeah.
That's how I perceived it.
I did not see any of that.
but that's how I proceeded. You know what
I
I mean?
am so bad at this.
No, you're not.
I just saw her dancing. You know what it was? I was paying attention to the meh. You know, I'm just
Yeah,
like,
no, but when she was doing this and she was coming on here, that's a symbol of saying goodbye. That's me waving and trying to say goodbye to my demons.
oh,
So that's how you got into. That's how I entitled it.
okay. Okay, gotcha.
You know. So
Can we get to the next song?
yeah, I want to get to.
I want to get
Kiss.
to the next song.
Go ahead, you shout it out.
Okay, so we got the next song, Kiss, Fear, Goodbye. I just love her titles.
Bye,
Kiss,
fear.
Bye, Fear, Kiss, Fear, Goodbye. There we go.
Roll it.
I hear you whispering those soft, familiar lines. Possessively, you're holding me, tying up my mind. You've had me blindfolded, hidden from the light. And I've second-guessed myself for the last time. You've held me back so long. You've had me in your grip. This heart is moving on, 'cause I've had enough of this. I'm gonna climb, I'm gonna rise. Stop believing all of your lies. I'm gonna breathe, be set free. Stare right into your eyes and feel I'm kissing you goodbye. I've danced with you so long in this church of quicksand, but just as I was going under, love reached out its hand. You've held me back so long. You've had me in your grip. This heart is moving on, 'cause I've had enough of this. I'm gonna climb, I'm gonna rise. Stop believing all of your lies. I'm gonna breathe, be set free. Stare right into your eyes and feel I'm kissing you goodbye. You try to get back in, but this time I'm not answering your call. I'm gonna climb, I'm gonna rise. Stop believing all of your lies. I'm gonna breathe, be set free. Stare right into your eyes and feel I'm kissing you goodbye. Yes, feel I'm kissing you goodbye.
Jeez Louise, that's phenomenal.
I was kissing her back.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just, So anyway, now when I closed my eyes,
Mm-hmm.
I said to him, she's the fourth member of Wilson Phillips.
I don't know Wilson Phillips.
Oh, you know what? That's it. We're not talking. Let's end the show. That's it. We're done. It's over. Okay. Look them up.
I will.
Wilson Phillips. It was a girl country group. I
Okay.
think I think 2 of them were the daughters of Michelle Phillips.
Okay. Wilson
Phillips.
Wilson Phillips.
My favorite song from them was "Hold On," and I'm picturing you in you making them a quartet, you know, 4, right? And I can see her.
Quadra.
No, anyway, just what it took me back there. It took me back there because these women were phenomenal. See, she's her own.
I'm gonna say Faith.
Faith Hill. Yeah, you got a little bit of Faith Hill in there.
Cause when I heard her when she was in Good, I was like, yeah, no, that's Faith.
Oh, okay, we agree. We love the, you know, it's not like we're trying to compare. It's just like, you know
what? A lot of people think this is like, you know, with hip hop and all of that, but DNA stands for the DNA of music.
Yeah, we're like the DNA of music.
You know, so when I hear that, I was like, that's Faith.
Yeah,
You sounded just like
okay.
Faith.
I'll take Faith. Faith, listen, you over there. I can hear you in the background.
Yes. He's grumbling at me.
He ain't grumbling at you. He's grumbling at
They got through their very long-lasting chews inordinately fast tonight.
It's okay. It's all right. We love doggies.
Yeah.
You got to see them. They're so cute too.
They are cute.
Winston and Buddy. But again, the videos, that video was so cute, you know, and with that song, right? With that particular song, she didn't even need the video.
I like the video because the video showed
I
basically.
could close my eyes and create my own video.
I
with
understand that,
You
but
know
what
what
I
I'm
liked
saying?
about the video, how it was another indicator of basically sitting here stranded, but then trying to find my way out.
Mm.
So that's how I got the analogy, you know, from that
You
video.
are all about analogies tonight.
And then the water to me indicates basically new life.
Mm.
You know, in there, and the reflection that you saw yourself through the past. So that's how I look at it and stuff.
Don't shake your head. Yes, don't agree with him with everything.
I'm just enjoying hearing his interpretation of the video.
Okay, how about my interpretation? You want to hear my interpretation?
I don't know. You said somebody I never heard it neither.
I can't believe you two are too much. And you both are in the music industry.
Exactly. That's why I could say all this.
Okay, I'm just saying Wilson Phillips. We don't know Wilson Phillips. Okay.
No.
So anyway, with the video, I think it's like basically saying to someone that, you know what, I'm not afraid of you anymore. I'm not afraid of being alone. Okay. I'm not afraid of being independent. I'm not afraid of being my own true self. That's what I get.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
You know, when I wrote,
am I getting it or what? I mean, come on.
yeah, no, I mean, when I wrote that song, I wanted to personify fear because our relationship with fear is like an abusive relationship.
Right. Yeah.
Because fear whispers all of these lies in your head.
Yeah.
Buddy agrees.
Buddy agrees.
Fear. Do you want a timeout, sir?
Nah, he's saying tell him. I'm already in timeout.
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, I just wanted to personify fear because fear is like an abusive relationship. It speaks lies to you and it tries to torment you. And that's what happens in abuse, you know? So I just thought it would be neat to make fear a person, even though I really was talking to fear, because when I wrote that song, I had been going through the healing process from the PTSD and I had just started facing fears, like basically being like, this terrifies me. I'm going to do it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And there's freedom in that because when we take the bricks of fear out of those walls that we've built up, it comes crashing down because fear is really a lie, you know? I mean, unless it's like the healthy kind that says, don't jump off a cliff, you know, there's healthy fear, but then there's totally unhealthy, like ungodly fear that tries to torment you and rule your life and shift you from things that are good and push you into the wrong things, you know? And I was just not going to do it anymore. I decided to just face the fears and kick the bricks out so that that wall would come down and I could have freedom.
I love it.
I'm telling you, you know, I think Winston would agree.
Yes.
I agree, and I'm in timeout too.
Yeah, but you know, because she comes up, you know, because when I was looking at her Instagram and stuff, I think everybody should go check her out. Because she has like all these like different types of sayings and proverbs and stuff like that on her page. And the one that got me, the one that I thought was really good, was not everyone who says they are in your corner is really in your corner. Silver tongues often speak lies. May they be exposed in your life so the right people are able to be in your life. Love that one.
I love it too, but I always looked at it, if they lie, just rip out their tongue.
That's my baby.
If he got a silver tongue, man, why don't I just steal that tongue, put it in, and get money out of it?
No, we do not believe. See, even Winston is upset with you.
I heard of a golden heart, but when I gotta take a
No.
silver tongue, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm putting that into the gold.
No, let's not and say we did. Okay, so anyway, I really appreciate it. We've had such a great time with
Yeah,
her.
it's been
We
excellent.
really did.
Excellent quote too. Love it.
I know. She's just so cool, isn't she?
No, I love it. I love everything, man. This is a really good show.
I like her.
Thank you. I like you guys too. It's been fun.
I know, right? We are such a great guy.
I can't believe it's almost over.
I know. You know what? When you're having fun, it flies, right?
Yes.
That's how I feel. And you know, when we first started, you saw the clip when we first started.
Yes.
Right? We've come a long way. Okay.
You came a long way. I was born a star,
Oh,
honey.
you know what? Here we go. Okay. Let me tell you, I was so nervous that first show. I was totally out of my element. I had no business in the music industry or anything. And he was like feeling my leg underneath the table, going, like patting me, going, "Don't worry, thing. You're okay, like, don't worry, baby, don't worry, you got this." But I was really, I was sweating bullets. You couldn't tell, but
No, when you went like this with your hair and then came down like this, you could say that you were uncomfortable.
yeah, I was not in my element. But let me just tell you, everybody up until from that day until tonight has been a whirlwind for us, and we've enjoyed the show as it's progressed and everything, and all the people that we've gotten the pleasure of meeting and stuff, and it's just been, and you're our last show in 2024.
I can't believe 2024 is over. Almost, not quite. We still got a couple days, but this year went by so fast.
I know, it went by so fast, and I'm like, this is going to be our last show for the year. So next year is going to be better, and hopefully, we'll still be running and we'll have everybody on. But we'll definitely be in touch with you. We'll definitely be keeping up with you for sure.
Yeah.
We would love to have you back on the show.
I would love to come back. This has been lots of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
And Buddy too. We want them both. I'll bring more treats. Treats.
I'll have to get an even longer treat next time.
I know. Okay. So anyway, everybody go find Britney Bexton. It's Bexton. You can find her on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, every social media platform. Go check her out. Check out her new song, Dance with the Devil, people. We got it here. DNA Live. Brittany, take us out, baby.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It was great to see your comments. Have a blessed new year.
Thank you. See you next week, everybody. Peace out.
Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.